Hello, and welcome back to the Spoilercast, the show where we talk about movies and we don't care about spoiling them. My name is Tobias, and with me as always is my sister and trusted co-host, Rebecca.
Hello.
Hello, and Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
I mean, it's not Christmas yet, but we're in the Christmas month, and this is our second Christmas episode this year. If you haven't seen our last episode, which I don't know why you wouldn't have. I mean, if you're subscribed, of course. If you're not, you should subscribe, like the video and all that stuff. But we're doing Christmas classics this year, is what I'm trying to get to.
Yes.
Yeah, last week we did It Happened on Fifth Avenue, which is one of my, it's one of my favorite Christmas movies, I would say. Christmas classics. But this week, I wanted to pick something that either of us had seen before, just to kind of, sprinkle in something new, even though we're watching something old.
I was going to say, new.
New, yeah. It's only 80 years old, basically.
Yeah. Well, that's what you get when you're doing classics.
Exactly. And this is considered a Christmas classic, although I think we have to discuss the accuracy of calling it that. Yeah, like the Christmassy.
The amount of Christmasness in it.
Yeah. But however, we're talking about Elia Kazan's directorial debut, the 1945?
Yes.
A slice of life drama, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. Yes. It's the story of the Nolan family. More specifically, Francie, the daughter of the family, Francie Nolan, and her growing up in the early 1900s Brooklyn in a poor family.
Yeah.
Not destitute, but poor family. with her very pragmatic, matter-of-fact mother, who more or less takes care of the family, and her more head in the clouds, kind of dreamy father.
Yes.
John Nolan.
Johnny,
yeah. And
her brother.
And her brother, Neely.
Yeah.
What's the mom's name?
Katie,
right. And they go through trials and tribulations during like it's like a year. Has to be.
Yeah, it's almost a year.
Yeah. And yeah, we'll start by doing this the right way. So I'm going to ask you, what did you think of A Tree Grows in Brooklyn?
As per usual, I thought it was quite alright.
Okay.
That's become my normal answer for most movies. No, but it was as a Christmas movie, meh.
Yeah.
It had some more Christmas than the last one, but still
true.
A little bit too little for me. It had also some of the, bit of the Christmas magic, I guess, but it came after Christmas.
Yeah.
Which was a bit weird. But I did like it. I liked the setup. I liked the characters. It was a bit long for something so old.
It's 2 hours, which, not a lot of old movies were, unless it was like a big epic, like Cleopatra.
Yeah, but this one wasn't an epic.
Ben-Hur or something. No, this was a little drama movie. It's over 2 hours long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it had a cozy vibe to it, so it's got a step up on It Happened on Fifth Avenue when it comes to the Christmas feel, but I'm still a little iffy on if it's actually a Christmas movie.
Yes, we're gonna discuss that more later.
But overall, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
For an old movie.
Yeah. That's gonna be my worry with these, because you haven't seen any of the movies. Yes, you've seen the last one we're gonna do. I think
so, and I have seen The Patron, actually. One of the Patron movies.
Right.
I realized.
Yeah, because if you didn't know, we're doing, we have a Patreon, of course. Patreon.com/don'tmakeascene, where we do an exclusive episode each week, kind of as a companion piece to the movie we're talking about here on YouTube and Spotify and whatever.
They're also Christmas classics of sorts.
Yeah, a little newer Christmas classics and some classic Christmas TV specials.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what did you think of it?
Well,
A Tree Grows in Brooklyn.
The first hour, the first 50 minutes, I was like, this is good, but yeah, I'm not really seeing the Christmassy stuff here. and it kind of moses along. The first hour is where you can really feel the length of the movie. It's not bad, but it was like, what is this? Where are they going with this? Kind of.
It did take me 2 sittings to get through it, and the first hour was the reason. So
okay, yeah. But yeah, I guess minor spoilers. About 50 minutes to an hour in, we hit Christmas. Yes. And that's kind of where, some of the magic, so to speak, starts happening. This is not there's no magic, but I mean Christmas magic,
Yeah, all of a sudden they're getting lucky, and all of a sudden things are working out for them. Yeah, that kind of magic. That's Christmas magic.
Yeah, and there's some raised stakes.
Yes.
But I gotta say, when the movie was over, I was completely floored. This is like a new favorite of mine. Maybe not a new favorite Christmas movie, but this is like one of the best movies I've seen in a long time.
Wow.
So fucking good. And where the movie ends up, I think it really justifies the kind of long and more harsh first hour of the movie.
Sure.
It makes sense story-wise.
Sure.
And I gotta say, just like last episode, but even more this time, I bawled my eyes out. Because this is ultimately it is a very heartwarming film.
Yes,
very very
definitely.
Heartwarming and sweet and nice and everything, but it is viciously sad also. Like like I said, the first hour is rough. I was worried after reading about it that there was going to be, some domestic abuse and stuff because they mentioned the father's an alcoholic. That never happens, though. It doesn't go there, but it's still very, very, very sad. And there is heavy struggling in the first hour.
Yes.
And I mean after the first hour as well.
Yeah.
And then the movie kind of peaks in sadness on Christmas Eve. Well, no,
it's
slightly after Christmas Eve.
It's like a day or two after.
Yeah. And
I don't know.
It just the waterworks just started, and then that kind of comes back a little later in the movie, but in a sad but sweet way. Yeah.
I love that you've become more sensitive in these. I was about to say in your old age. You're not old, but since you've grown up.
Speaking of that, it's my birthday's in December.
Yes,
and my best friend's birthday is also in December. He just recently had his birthday on the 2nd of December. And that made me think, because I turned 35 this year. Yes,
holy shit,
very old. Yeah, and I just realized that means in 25 years, I'll be 60 years old.
But 25 years is a long time.
Yeah, but it's less than I've already been alive. So I'm closer now to 60.
Sure, but you've been alive for a long time.
Sure, yes.
And time moves much slower the older you become, so...
No. It's the other way around. Time moves faster.
You think?
Yeah. Because when you're young... Let's say you're in you're like 10 or whatever, and you have your summer break. Oh my God! Because here in Sweden we have 8 or 10 weeks summer break.
10 weeks, I think. Yeah,
insane. 10 weeks. That was an eternity.
Sure.
Do you know, but a year was 10% of your life. Now 1 year is what 3% of my life.
But you can do so much more now. So to me, it feels like I experience more, and therefore the year feels longer.
No.
Because I've been thinking about all the things I've done this year, like all the things that's happened in my life. And there's so much.
Okay.
Should I list them? No,
no. Yeah.
For me, at least. I mean, it feels like there's so much. I turned 30. I saw my favorite band of the last 2 years or so live for the first time. I managed to score tickets to go see them again next summer, which was a hell of a ride trying to get those tickets. Jesus Christ. My boyfriend's sister had her baby. I don't know. We moved. We've done a lot of things.
Is that this year?
Yeah, we moved this May. This is when we moved into this apartment. We haven't been here a year yet.
Wait, where do you live now?
Handen?
Oh, right. I forgot. Yeah, you moved this like early summer.
The hand, yeah.
Right.
It was this spring. I haven't been here a year yet.
No,
so.
yeah, and I've only been there like twice since you moved. That's why I forgot about it.
No, like, so you see, like, I feel like there's been so much this year.
All right.
And technically the year isn't over. I have another month full of so much that's gonna happen. Like, the last week of this month, of this year, is slam-packed with so many things that I'm gonna do.
All right.
I feel like this has been a long year.
Okay, but in general,
sure, I know what people say
tend to
that
say time moves faster because, like, one year when you're 40 is not nearly as much as 1 year when you're 15.
Sure.
Because then 1 year is a lot bigger part of your life.
But it's a mindset.
Sure. Anyway, so I feel like 25 years is, I mean, it's going to take a long time, but it's going to go pretty fast also, it feels like.
So what, you're having like a midlife crisis already?
No, not quite. But I mean, technically, in about 5 years,
you are middle-aged.
I am going to be middle-aged.
Yeah.
According to...
Better get working on, moving. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what, but still.
Well, I don't know.
What does that have to do with the movie, though?
Well, I mean, because, hey, that's what the movie's about. The movie is definitely about growing up.
Sure, and it's about a year in the life, and it's about...
Yeah, I mean, it's in the
moving
title.
on to doing more things and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, but, more growing up, realizing, the harshness of reality, but still finding, like... finding the good part in life.
Yeah.
That's not all strife. Which is represented, by the mother, who really mainly sees the negative things in life, and the father, who is not. I don't think he's blissfully unaware of the struggle. That's why he drinks. But he
chooses
decides,
to focus on the good stuff.
The good stuff.
Positivity.
Yeah, and I saw some people. I read briefly about the movie. Some people saying that, like, he was a dreamer and he had all these empty promises and blah blah blah, and like him being not a bad person, but not ultimately not a good person, because he's a fucking flim flam floozy kind of guy.
Yeah.
But
sure.
I disagree. I disagree with that. Sure, he had his head in the clouds, and he didn't really, want to face reality. And when he did, yikes.
Yeah.
Whatever. We can spoil things. Like we said, the movie's 80 years old.
Yeah.
when he finally decides to kind of when he finds out that his wife is pregnant again for the third time.
With the third child.
Yeah. And they're gonna have to pull Francie out of school, which is Francie, the daughter, is very she's not an academic, but she's
bright.
She's bright. She writes things. She's book smart. Yeah, she likes to read. She wants to find everything out. And they're not gonna be able to let her stay in school, which is. Like they mention, like Francie mentions when she finds out, why would they pull her out of school and not Neely, her brother, who obviously doesn't care about school, and he's a boy. It'd be easier for him to find work, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
The way I understood the reasoning was that because Francie is so smart and has this will to learn, she will have an easier time to go back to school if the opportunity arrives. She's also gonna be easier to land a job that maybe pays a little bit more because she's so smart and so well spoken and all that stuff. So she can maybe get a little bit of a more fancy job.
Sure.
While Neely, he's a bit rough and maybe would only be able to do shitty work, which wouldn't pay much, and he would never ever make his way back to school if he ever got to stop.
Yeah. But that's...
Which I find, it sounded sort of reasonable, like I understand, but you would have to have more of a time frame for that to work.
Yeah.
Like knowing that, but Francie will be able to go back to school in like a year, tops.
that's what the
But
mother.
they didn't have that.
No, that's what the mother hopes for. But
Yeah.
you know, the second Francie leaves school, she is never going back. It's not going to happen. She's going to be just like her mother. She's going to get stuck working.
Yeah.
And to make ends meet, she'll find some nice man and marry him, and then she'll have babies, and she'll never go back to school. That's the harsh reality.
The curse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the dad kind of like, because he obviously wants her to keep working, keep writing and all that, because he is also creative. He has this dream.
He likes making up stories. And stuff.
And he has this dream of being a musician. I mean, he technically is a musician.
He's a singer. Yeah.
Yeah, singer. But
he's the one who's encouraging Francie to write and make up her own stories.
Yeah, exactly. So he decides then, like, no, like, Francie has to stay in school. I'll do whatever I can. So, isn't it on Christmas Eve, the night of Christmas Eve, that he leaves? And
I think so. They realize it in the morning.
Yeah.
Because she tells him on Christmas Eve.
Exactly.
About the baby. And
I guess I'll have a
then
walk.
when they go to bed, he goes out.
Yeah. He goes out
But they don't know what happens to him until like a week later.
Yeah. Because he goes out to try to find a job. And he like hangs on the
Christmas night.
Yeah, he hangs on the door of the work office or whatever.
Yeah, unemployment
office. That's the word. Of course, in the blistering Brooklyn cold, suffers a pneumonia and dies.
Yeah.
And that's where when Francie finds out, it's just it's so sad.
Yeah.
But then there's also I think that in a weird way is where his characteristic, the perpetual positive feeling he had, is kind of justified, because when he dies, you think, oh man, now they're never gonna make ends meet, because what little money he brought in still helped,
Yeah.
But then it turns out, first of all, there's so many people there at the funeral. Like, there were so many people that actually liked him and cared for him. Mm-hmm. And it's not like a lot of people, but the bartender at the bar he used to frequent comes over and wants to give them money. And when the mom refuses to accept the money, he offers Francie and Neely jobs at his bar.
Yeah.
So, they can make money that way. And
still stay in school, because he says it's after school and on Saturdays.
Yeah, exactly. So, and there's so many people, like, speaking well about him, that, yeah, even though, like, he didn't find success or anything, he was still, like, a person you liked to be around.
Yeah.
And when you're like, yeah, that makes sense. And he lived what little life he had to the fullest.
Yes.
And the mom doesn't really want to recognize that, I think. She's still kind of very pragmatic about the whole thing. But then a few months later, when she's ready to give birth, she asks Francie to read some of her, what do you call it? Her compositions?
Yeah, compositions.
I don't know what they mean by that. Her little short stories or whatever.
Yeah. Stories,
yeah. And she reads. I need to find the. I think I saw the one she reads. She had written about her dad.
Yeah.
I think I have it here. There it is. I think it's the whole thing. Yes. No, it's not the whole thing, but it's the
spirit of it.
The spirit of it, yeah. Perhaps many people might have said that he was a failure. It is true that he had no gift for making money, but he had a gift for laughter and for making people love him. He had the gift of making you feel proud to walk down the street with him. He had nothing to give but himself, but this he gave generously, like a king. And that also, I'm getting choked up just reading it. Jesus.
That your voice almost broke.
And she's reading this to her mother, and it's almost like she's like in delirium. I think she kind of snapped almost before the,
Yeah, she's afraid she's gonna die in birth.
Yeah.
She's afraid she's gonna leave her children with a newborn to take care of all alone.
Yeah.
she's realizing, and it hits her that, oh, my husband is dead and gone, and he will never come back to me, and I have to take care of this new child all on my own, and I have to, these 2 children I already have to take care. There's so much hitting her right then and there, and she's afraid, basically.
Yeah.
Which I get.
Yeah, of course.
100%.
She's gonna have her 3rd child, and she doesn't have any real job, and now she doesn't have a significant other to help her. Yeah.
Her poor daughter is gonna have to try and deliver the child if her own grandma or her own mother and sister doesn't arrive in time.
Yeah.
Which luckily they do.
Yeah, everything turns out fine. The baby's fine. She's fine. Yeah. And throughout the movie, Officer, what's his name? McShane has been kind of,
hanging about,
being nice to them and everything. It's obviously kind of likes the mom.
Yeah.
And now after the baby is born, sometime after the baby is born, a couple of months or whatever. Yeah. He shows up and he says, he basically asks for her hand, so to speak.
Yeah.
She what was mom's name again? Katie. Katie, obviously, she I think she noticed his not advances, but his feelings for her before, but now that she is a widow, she can reciprocate, and they do.
But that's the kind of weird thing, though, because he had a wife when she had a husband.
Yeah, but
so they were both kind of like looking at someone else while they both had significant other.
I don't think she was looking at him like that. She just acknowledged that he was looking at her.
But he was kind and friendly.
Yeah, I think even that is the thing. He was kind and friendly. I don't think because this is a very, very wholesome movie. So I don't think they were like harboring
no adultery.
Nah, exactly, or even thinking about it. But then, since both of them are now widows, because he tells them that Mrs. What was her name? Shane died.
Jesus Christ!
I don't know.
Pull up their names. Have the poster in front of you.
Yeah, because all the names are on there.
Yeah.
Both character and actor. She passed along 6 months ago, so it's an appropriate...
Right about the same time your husband died.
It's an appropriate amount of time for me to now ask,
Yeah.
It's like, so now they have, and the policeman, he's not going to be rich, but he has money, at least.
He has a steady job.
Yeah, exactly. So, in a way...
And he's a nice man.
Very nice man, yeah. And even says, like, I wouldn't suggest that your 2 older kids take my name, but maybe I can legally adopt the young'un. Like, yeah. And then that's the only time we see the baby. It's the fattest little face I've ever seen. Looks like a potato, but anyway. And then, they kind of fast forward to graduation day for both Neely and Francie. Because they could both stay in school.
Yeah.
And I guess at that point they're both going to the nice school, because earlier in the movie, Francie gets to go to a nicer school.
Yeah, Johnny tells a fib and gets Francie into the nice school.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, she graduates whatever class, I guess, like 4th grade.
No, they don't go to the same school, because that's Mom's worry that she won't be able to clone herself and go to both graduations. I'll only be able to go to Neely's. I can't go to yours because it's so far away and all that stuff. Right. It's not that far away. It's like 2 blocks away, but still.
Yeah.
Long enough, I guess. Far enough.
But So Francie's about to leave the classroom, but then they notice, because all the girls have a bouquet of flowers. They have flowers given to them by their parents or whatever.
Yeah, their family. Yeah.
She doesn't have any, of course, because they can't afford flowers. It's unnecessary money. But then on her desk, there's some flowers, and they're from her dad.
Yeah.
And that's the first time you see her kind of show emotions around about him.
Yeah, she becomes kind of shut down and closing in on herself.
Yeah.
When her dad dies. I mean, she prays to God for a little bit, but that's about it.
Yeah, there's no crying.
No.
But there she cries, and I cried
there
again.
She cries. Of course you did.
Of course. And I think
Sissy has made sure that she gets the flowers from her dad that he gave her a long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, he gave her the money for a long time ago.
So even when he's not around, he takes care of people.
He's still there.
Yeah. And that scene, I'm not sure, because he didn't say exactly which scene it was, but the actress who plays Francie,
Peggy Ann Garner?
right? Her father, because this was shot in like 45 or 46, he was in World War II. I think he was a pilot in World War II during that time as they were filming. Okay. So she was super worried that he was gonna, be killed in the war.
Yeah.
And the director they doesn't say how he did it, but I'm sure he talked to her about it. Used that to get an emotional response for certain scenes. I'm pretty sure it's that one, because she just starts crying.
Yeah, which is
that's not
maybe
nice.
Not the best way to do it, but it has been done before, I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she was like, yeah, your dad's gonna fucking die. I don't think it was that.
No, but talk about it to make her feel a bit more emotional and make her think about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not quite the same thing, but to get a reaction out of children in a classic example, that is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. The Steve Spielberg movie. When the little kid, whatever his name is standing in his kitchen and he's looking in different directions, because we just see sounds. We hear sounds.
See sounds, yes.
Yeah. He reacts first a little scared because he hears something. But then, all the aliens are nice. We don't know it yet, but the aliens are nice. So he kind of... Yeah. But we see him light up at that point. It's like, oh, he gets happy, And it turns out they did that to get that, genuine reaction of first being, genuinely scared and then genuinely happy. Steven Spielberg put on a gorilla suit and, jumped out into, the hall where the kid was standing. So he's like, got a little, nervous.
Off camera, but
behind the camera. So the kid's like, what the hell? But then he removed the gorilla mask, and then the kid saw that it was Steven Spielberg, and Spielberg is always
okay.
He always cares a lot for the child actors he works with.
Yeah.
So then he's just like, oh, Steven, basically, just his face just shown up, and that's that's the shot that's in the movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, it works.
There's probably other instances where they've done similar stuff where they, talk to the child actors to make them a little bit extra sad, or think about something sad when they have to cry, or, scare them perhaps sometimes. Yeah,
they even do that to grown-ups again. I don't know if you know that, but in The Exorcist, there's a scene where Father Karras is listening to a tape.
Oh, yeah.
And the phone rings, and he's super startled by the phone. They didn't use a phone on set. The director fired a shotgun into the air.
Right, yeah.
A couple of feet away from him. She's, ah! That's the shot that's in the movie. And speaking of guns being used to elicit emotions, I think it was on the set of Aguirre, Wrath of God. Klaus Kinski refused to do a scene. He had the lead role, I would say, or the second lead role. Because he was a very difficult actor to work with, but when he did work, he was brilliant. So the director, Werner Herzog, it's not 100% confirmed, but it's kind of an urban legend. Yeah. That he pulled a gun on Klaus, pointed at him and said, "You're gonna act now, or I'm gonna kill you." And he's like,
Jesus Christ.
And he just stared there like, fine, basically, and did the scene. There was also rumors that he threatened to kill himself if Klaus Kinski didn't act. He was like, I'm gonna shoot myself in the head if you didn't do this. He's like, fine. It's a great movie though. Hey, it worked.
Sure.
Anyway, back to A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. This is basically the end there. They graduate. Ginny, Neely and Francie. I want to call one of them Ginny for some reason. I don't know why.
There is no Ginny.
There's a Sissy, there's a Francie, there's a Neely. Why is no one called Ginny? Anyway.
And Johnny.
Yeah. They all kind of meld together to become a Ginny in my head. That's why I can't remember anyone's name. Anyway, they're standing up on the roof, looking out over the the inner courtyard that they've always been looking at. And we didn't mention that, but early in the movie, you see a tree growing in the middle of the courtyard, which they early in the movie cut down, and they're so sad because it's the tree they're always looking at. You know, it's a
the
tree.
one with the birds and all that stuff.
Yeah. And the father's saying, like, well, a strong tree like that, it'll pull through, you know. I mean, it grew up out of cement, you know. You can't just kill that tree. Being a metaphor for even when times are tough, we're going to make it through. Blah, blah, blah. So they look down at the tree stump and they realize, the tree started growing again.
A new tree, it's coming back.
And the movie ends. Wonderful movie.
Yes.
It reminded me a lot of another movie from also from the 40s, I think, by another famous, legendary American director called what's his name, John Ford, who did some westerns but also some dramas. He made a movie. Oh yeah, actually before this, 1941. I was going to say it's the 50s, but 1941, he made a movie called How Green Was My Valley, which is also based on a book. A Tree Grows in Brooklyn is based on a book. Which is kind of similar. That's not at all Christmas. I don't even think Christmas is in this movie, but it takes place over a year in a Welsh mining village. And about a coal mining family, basically, with a bunch of sons, and the struggles of life. That is literally in my top 10 movies of all time, I think. I don't know, but I think so. That is a movie. We're not going to talk.
You have a lot of movies in your top 10.
I know. I have like 100 movies in my top 10. No, but yeah, it reminded me a lot of that one is. I'll say that. How Green Is My Valley is better than Tree Grows in Brooklyn. But they were very similar in that there was this super sad with little like sprinklings of happiness, but then there's a very, very happy ending. Sure. And it kind of like shows the resilience of the human spirit.
Of men.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Men as in human.
Yeah, exactly. I absolutely love this movie.
Sure, no, it is a great movie, and it's very well made and very well written. But how much of a Christmas movie is it?
Yes, let's talk about that. It is.
Yes.
Not really a Christmas movie.
It has a little bit of that Christmas magic, because on Christmas Eve, they, by magic, managed to get the biggest tree that they were going to be able to get.
Yeah.
With such a weird little thing, but the tree vendor, he throws the tree at you, and if you can catch it, you get to keep it.
Yeah, which was a thing. That's what it did. Like,
sure, but it's still weird.
They couldn't keep the trees. They didn't sell by Christmas Eve. They weren't gonna like take them with them because they're gonna die.
No, of course not.
So they just, hey, if anyone wants them, they'll throw them in the street.
Basically,
but you can't just throw them in the street, and then the cops are gonna beat you. So instead, they're like, we're throwing it out if people want them. So it's just a way to get rid of the
like
shit that
Neely
nobody
says,
wants.
like, if they just give it out, people will just wait to get it for free.
Exactly.
But if you have to work for it, as in you get it thrown in your face, and if you catch it and don't fall over, you can keep it.
Yeah.
Then, not everyone's going to be like, yeah, I'll do that, instead of just buying the tree. Mm-hmm. Also, you get to have to wait, and you get the saddest looking one, I guess. They get a huge one, though.
They get a big one, yeah. So they have the Christmas tree.
They get the pie from Francie's school.
Yeah.
And I mean the policeman comes by and helps out. He's being all friendly and stuff.
Yeah.
I think his wife had just died by then.
Probably.
Even though they don't say it, it seems like it.
Yeah, that's why he's coming by.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Aunt Sissy and her husband is there.
Yeah. Bob or Steve or whatever his actual name was.
It's not Bill, it's John or whatever. Steve. Yes, right. Because in the end,
it is Steve, right?
By the end of the movie, he says, "I'm Steve," and I was like, it's the Minecraft movie. I'm Steve.
Oh no! No. He's just like, no, I've been long enough in this family now. You can start calling me by my real name. I understand that it was a funny joke calling me Bill or Bob or whatever. But not anymore. I am a father. My child will know my name.
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna make that meme though,
yeah.
where I cut them together.
Go for it.
I am Steve.
Yeah.
By the way, we are gonna watch that movie.
Hell no.
We're not gonna pay for it, but we're gonna watch that movie.
Hell.
We're gonna. You made me watch Wicked. I'm gonna make you watch the Minecraft movie.
Yeah, no, that's fair, I guess. When's that? January or something?
I don't know when it's coming out, but whenever it does, we're gonna watch it one way or another. Either way, sorry.
Anywho, yeah, we get some of that Christmas magic. Yeah, because on Christmas Eve, when they're decorating the tree and the family's together and all, it's a very nice evening.
Yeah.
Even though Katie, mom, is a bit uneasy.
Yeah, because
since she hasn't told anyone yet that she's pregnant with her third child. And she just found out that her sister's also pregnant.
Yeah. So
she feels like she's just going to be like, I don't know, in the way or like copying or something, you know, always in their sister's shadow a little bit. Yeah. Because, you know, Auntie Sissy is very, very positive in the same way that Johnny was or is by then still is. Yeah. But more of a, she's done better for herself somehow. Yeah. Mainly, it seems, by marrying.
Yes, I don't think she's like rich or anything, but she obviously dresses
but
nice.
A little bit better.
She does better.
Yeah, she's not rich. No, but she's done better.
Yeah,
and which through marriage, which isn't the best way. And even though the last husband just kind of disappeared, he didn't die or anything. He just vanished for a while. And according to law, if you haven't seen him for 7 years, you're technically divorced.
Yeah, and they have to pronounce him dead at some point.
Yeah.
If you've been gone for too long, you do that. I don't know how long it is, but
I mean,
that's the reality.
Turns out he wasn't gone. He just moved to Manhattan.
Became a fireman.
Became a fireman.
Yeah, I don't know.
Somehow that worked out though, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But that's the only real part where it's like, oh yeah, there's some Christmas magic here.
It also,
and I mean, we have the mother being a bit of a Scrooge or a Grinch throughout the movie, which yes, that is telltale for a Christmas movie. You need to have someone who's a non-believer.
Very similar to, let's see if you can do this, even though we're recording it kind of weird. Last week's Patreon episode.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Which we haven't recorded
yet. Which I did think about when I watched it. I was like, yeah, that's
kind of similar.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a similarity here. We have this upbeat dad, and we have this skeptic mom, Grinchy mother, and 2 children.
Yeah.
Right? That one, though, has much more magic.
There's literal magic, yeah.
Yeah.
And
way more Christmas spirit in general.
Yeah, because it takes place during Christmas. All the movies.
Santa's in it.
Yeah. But that one,
get to go to
that one is a lot darker, though. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Sure.
That movie is that's like, because it's all about finding Christmas spirit, of course. It's always the one character doesn't have Christmas spirit has to find it, of course. But here it feels like they severely punish her for not having Christmas spirit. But more about that if you watch us on Patreon. About to say that.
More about that if you watch the Patreon episode. Yeah. In this one, it's not as I mean, technically, it's just as evil, I guess, because I mean, the husband dies either way.
Yeah, I suppose. But he isn't gunned down during the bank robbery, spoilers.
No. No, he dies from his own
volition.
Vices, I guess. Yeah. Even though it's unintentional.
Yeah.
And the Grinchiness isn't as Grinchy because she doesn't speak about Christmas in a bad way. She just has a very, like you called it, pragmatic way of looking at life.
Cynical.
Almost. Yeah.
Especially around that time.
Yeah, but that's because, you're supposed to be happy and all the children are excited for some stupid reason. She just cannot feel the joy.
No. Which is understandable.
So I understand why she's being a bit grumpy.
There's a lot of like pivotal moments happen during the Christmas sequence.
Sure, yes.
So I think that's why some people would put this on a Christmas movie list. Why I found it on a Christmas movie list.
But I would not count this as a Christmas movie.
No, that was what I want to get to. I wouldn't either. Even though that is like probably the longest like extended sequence that actually takes place during one day, so to speak. Is that.
Yes.
But yeah, it's only like 10% of the movie. The rest is summer or
rest
autumn
of the
or whatever.
Year.
Yeah, exactly. So I know, even though this is our Christmas month, our Christmas special episodes, I wouldn't consider this a Christmas movie.
No. So far, we haven't hit home with the classic Christmas movies, in my opinion.
No. Like I said, I argue that It Happened on Fifth Avenue is a Christmas movie. Because that takes place during November. And I mean,
sure.
you know what? That's also a thing we kind of retrospectively talk about when we talk about It Happened on Fifth Avenue. Because...
What?
Something made a sound. I don't know. Whatever.
Your chair, maybe?
Maybe a chair, yeah. We here in Sweden, we celebrate Christmas during December. Christmas and New Year's is kind of our holiday season.
Yes.
However... in America, the holiday season kind of starts mid-November, and I mean,
with Thanksgiving and all
exactly
that.
because they have Thanksgiving. We have Tacksägelsedagen, which is literally the same thing.
Yeah, but it's not celebrated the same way.
No, we just like okay, it's that day. Okay, we don't celebrate.
I think if you're religious, you go to church.
Yes, but we don't have a big dinner.
We aren't, so.
Yeah. And I mean, if you want to like we drag out Christmas for a month. Some people kind of drag out Thanksgiving for a month. That
especially these days.
Yeah. That you kind of that's why you decorate with the pumpkins. You kind of start to celebrate fall, which is Thanksgiving season.
You start off with Halloween, and then as soon as November 1st is, you can kind of incorporate Christmas decor, which makes it more Thanksgiving themed because you still have that fall theme, but so family style.
Technically, they have a holiday at the end of October as well. So if you will, holiday season in America is November and December.
Yes. No, I agree.
And I think that might be why It Happened on Fifth Avenue starts on November 3rd. Beginning of November.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah.
So they say...
I know we didn't talk about it then.
No, because
that makes sense.
I hadn't thought about it like that then. It wasn't until like a couple of days ago I saw a video from a YouTuber called Lost in the Pond. Great YouTuber. If you like geography and I guess some anthropology. It's about it's about a British guy who moved to America. So he
experiences American culture.
Yeah. But he's lived in America for like 20 years. But still. Still. And he talked about how Thanksgiving isn't really a thing outside of America.
No, because they've attached the whole Pilgrim and Native American thing to it. Yeah. Because Thanksgiving is a Christian holiday at first, but somehow it's... I don't know if it happened around then, actually, or if they've just like with Christmas, they just merged holidays, put them in somewhere in the middle. But they've put the whole Pilgrims arriving in America.
The dinner that happened, if it actually happened, was around November, what I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way. So, yeah.
You know what I mean by merging holidays, right? Like Christmas isn't... The birth of Jesus wasn't actually in December. He's a summer child.
Is that true, though?
I'm not sure.
Hold on, I'm going to look it up. I know some people say that, but I've never read... Maybe he did, but I've never read any proof of that. When...
I don't think it says in the Bible what month it is, because they didn't have months back then.
When was Jesus born?
I know we have in our calendars...
This is though from Christianity.com, so we'll see what they say.
Yeah.
When was Jesus actually born? Christ's birth is blah, 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 December. Okay. Christ's birth is traditionally celebrated in the West on December 25th. 24th, whatever. I guess he was born early December 25th.
Yeah.
But here in Sweden, we always say 24th, and we always celebrate on 24th, so I don't know.
It's because we celebrate on Christmas Eve, they celebrate on Christmas Day.
Yeah, but here it says he was born on December 25th. Whatever. But many Orthodox Christians celebrate Christmas on January 7th. However, neither date is likely correct in light of several clues uncovered by historians and information in the Bible itself. Okay. Can you just tell us?
I mean, I don't know if they get snow in Jerusalem, but like...
No. It's the Mid-East. I think they have a lot of snow there.
Yeah.
The Bible gives us a specific date of Jesus' birth. However, the date can be estimated based on when Hebrew shepherds historically tended their flocks in open fields, and according to the biblical account of Mary and Elizabeth's pregnancies. Who's Elizabeth? I don't know.
Yeah.
The Bible says in Luke 2, chapter 2, verse 8 and 9, or this, how you say it? Now there were in the same country shepherds living out in the fields, keeping watch over their flock by night, and behold, an angel of the Lord stood before them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were greatly afraid. According to Bible commentator Adam Clarke, it was traditional for the Jews to send their sheep to pasture from the spring until early October, as the cold winter months began. The flocks would return from their fields for protection and warmth. Since the shepherds were still tending their flocks in the fields around Bethlehem, it can be deduced that the angels announced the news of Jesus' birth no later than October. Okay.
Yeah.
To determine the...
And I mean, we have, in our calendars, we have the Immaculate Conception in December.
Oh.
So, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. He's a September child in that, by that calculation.
Yeah. Oh, hey, that's kind of good you said that, because here it says, because they have some more Bible text and stuff. Based on the Bible text and knowledge of the priestly courses, we can estimate that Jesus was born around the time of Tishri, which falls in mid to late September. Yeah. This approximation is reached by starting at the conception of John the Baptist, which occurred in Sivan, June. Then we count forward 6 months to arrive at Gabriel's announcement of the conception of Jesus, which happened in Kislev, December. Yeah. Finally, we count forward 9 months, which is the average time it takes for human gestation, to reach Tishri, September, when Jesus was born. Okay.
Yeah.
This, though, is kind of funny. While many scholars believe Jesus was born sometime between 4 BC and 6 BC, which stands for before Christ.
Yeah.
There's no definitive historical evidence that pinpoints the exact year of his birth. The commonly used Christian calendar, which designates Jesus' birth at the starting point, traditionally places it at 1 BC or 1 AD. Yeah, obviously. 1 AD.
Well, yeah.
1 AD is after he died. Because that thing says for...
After death,
death of Ad Domina, yeah. Although these dates are approximate and may not align precisely with historical records. Okay, whatever.
No, but that's the thing, though. When you start a calendar and you just go, this is year 1, and you then later on base it on a person, obviously it's going to differ a little bit.
Why do we celebrate the birth of Christ in December?
Because
I just want to see why
the Christian church took over the heathen holiday of Yule.
Yule, yeah.
Yeah.
We call it something
because people were already celebrating it then, they decided to just, adopt it and put Jesus' name on it. So be like, yeah, but it's a Christian holiday now. So, yeah, sure, you can continue celebrating. We're not going to change too much of your ways, but you're not doing it for, for the harvest or the gods that you used to believe in any kind of way. It's for Jesus now.
Mm. Well, there are earlier reasons, too. There are at least 3, here it says this on Britannica. I don't know, some sort of website. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
There are at least 3 possible origins for the December date. The Roman Christian historian Sextus Julius Africanus dated Jesus' conception to March 25th. This is when they, which means then that...
that would mean December,
yeah. Which after 9 months, his mother would have resulted in a December 25 birth. Yeah. In the 3rd century, the Roman Empire, which at the time had not adopted Christianity, celebrated the rebirth of the unconquered sun, Sol Invictus, on December 25th. This holiday not only marked the return of longer days after winter solstice, but also followed the popular Roman festival called the Saturnalia.
Yeah.
And I think Saturnalia is kind of also kind of how we celebrated. We didn't celebrate Saturnalia here, but we had a similar kind of festival during winter time. Because people feasted and exchanged gifts.
The pagan style, I guess, is it has to do with the winter solstice.
Yes, exactly.
Mainly, which happens on Saturnalia.
Yeah. It was also the birthday of the Indo-European deity Mithra, a god of light and loyalty whose cult was at the time growing popular among Roman soldiers. And the church in Rome began formally celebrating Christmas on December 25th in 336 AD then, during the reign of the Emperor Constantine, as Constantine has made Christianity the effective religion of the empire. Some are speculating that choosing this date had the political motive of weakening the established pagan celebrations. Oh, bastards.
Yeah.
The date was not widely accepted in the Eastern Empire, where January 6th had been favored. Yeah, they mentioned that. For another half century. And Christmas did not become a major Christian festival until the 9th century. Wow.
Yeah.
So that
I mean, there's a bunch of reasons, obviously.
Yeah. But yeah,
I think mainly it has to do with winter solstice happening
Yeah.
around that time. And then just going like, yeah, we know what, we're already celebrating, let's just put our thing on it, basically.
How disrespectful is that against Jesus? If he's so if he's so important, why do we he's like, hey guys, it's September. Are we gonna have a party? And they're like, no, you have to wait 3 months. Like, what?
But he was dead by then, so.
True, I suppose.
When they decided to do that, he was already dead and gone.
That's true.
He had gone up to his Father in heaven.
Well, Jesus is God, so.
Yeah, I know, but what's it called? In Norwegian, it's himmelsbrett.
Yeah, the heavenly kingdom. Or kingdom of heaven.
No, the
when he travels?
Himmelflygare.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it in Swedish even?
Kristi himmelsfärd.
Yes, that's the one. Christ, heavenly...
Ascension.
Whatever. Yeah, ascension.
But I'm 35 years old, technically, but I've never thought of this. Jesus never got to celebrate Christmas.
Yeah, no. Because Christmas wasn't a thing when he was alive. That was just his... Nothing. That was just winter solstice.
Yeah.
Back then.
Anyway.
We are kind of off track, but it's Christmas talk.
Yeah, exactly. It's Christmas talk, and I honestly didn't have much more to say about the movie. That's that kind of movie, when a movie's good, all you can just say is, oh, it's really good.
Yeah, there's nothing to complain about. There's nothing to point out, really.
Yeah. And there's no, not that it, looks bad or anything, but there's nothing, technical that stands out. Good performances all around. No one was bad.
Yeah.
I liked, if we're going to talk about something technical, I liked how the weather outside the window, because a lot of the movie takes place in that, living room / kitchen.
Yeah.
The weather, first of all, signified which season it was, obviously.
But it
also kind of mirrored the mood of the movie. The first hour is, it is mainly upbeat, but kind of, harsh,
Yeah.
So it's usually very, just overcast / sunny. There's no weather outside. It's just...
No, it's just still, basically.
But then it's all serene and happy during Christmas. That's when you have the heavy, beautiful, the cotton candy snowfall. Very, very, Christmas picture, card. Christmas snow. And then, basically, for the rest of the movie, at least when you're watching outside the window, it's raining.
Yeah, that's true.
And specifically around the scene where, when she's about to give birth, it is just pouring down.
Yeah, between when they find out that he died and she giving birth, it's just pure rain. Yeah. That's true.
I wonder if that was a conscious choice. That's just how I interpret it.
It probably was.
Yeah.
I think it was. It has to be. It's the same way that music sometimes can force you into feeling a certain thing in modern movies.
Yeah.
They put a mood on.
Yeah.
Here they did that with the weather. By the way, it's raining. You should be sad.
The world is crying, for Johnny is dead.
Yeah.
And
everything is going bad.
The movie ends in summer, when everything is reborn and there's a fresh start, which literally that's what's going on in the movie. They've grown up and now it's time. And they even talk about how the new baby, what were they going to call her? Laurie, Annie Laurie.
Ann or Annie Laurie McShane.
Yeah, she's never going to experience
the hardships that we went through.
But then Neely says, we sure had a lot of fun though. Yeah, we did.
It's not all bad.
Yeah, and that which once again encapsulates the whole thing. It was a tough childhood, tough growing up. But I mean, we mainly saw the kids having fun, playing in the streets, going to school, singing with their dad.
Even when they had to go and cheat to get money, they had a smile on their faces. Yeah, because
they were crafty. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. And then the movie just ends on that. It ends on the weirdest comment, though, because when they're celebrating that they have graduated school, a slightly older boy kind of comes on to Francie, which is like, because she still looks like she's 10. I mean, I guess she's like 12 or 13 or something.
She's like 13 by then.
But he looks like he's in high school. So I was like, hey, buddy, how about you wait a couple of years?
Well, back in the days, that wasn't an issue, so. I know. And honestly, if he's... Wait, how old are you in high school? Like 16 tops?
16 when you start.
If he's 16 and she's 13, that's fine.
Yeah. They're both underage, so.
Yeah, until he turns 18, then he has to wait.
Anyway.
For a couple years.
I think that last line in the movie is, Neely, do you think I'm pretty? And he's like, yeah, whatever, basically.
You'll pass.
You'll pass, right. And then the movie ends. It's like, oh.
Because she has finally, because that was never a thing for her. She never considered having to look good or having to meet a boy or anything. But that's part of her growing up. She's like, oh, wait.
She can think about other things now. She can kind of let go of that pragmatism her mother had. Yeah.
Yeah. She's becoming a little more like her aunt in that sense.
In a good way.
Like, ooh, in a good way, yeah.
Well,
because both the mom and the aunt are really like, oh, this boy won't take you up. Yeah. Say the right thing. Just do it. And they're both very proud of her answer when she goes, oh, I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. Like, yeah, I'll come calling.
So, yeah.
And Neely getting jealous.
Hey, I thought we were going to go play baseball tomorrow. He more and more turned into a Brooklyn kind of kid during the movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we can kind of wrap it up there.
Yeah, we can wrap it up there.
So yeah,
we have more Christmas movies coming up.
Exactly. And I know that, so yeah, not too much Christmas so far, sorry, other than on Patreon. But I know that
I live on those.
The last two are gonna be pure Christmas. Now, once again, the last one, whatever. It's A Wonderful Life, which by many is considered the quintessential Christmas movie. I know that's also one that... I keep
confusing which one is A Wonderful Life.
Yeah, because there's an Italian movie from the 90s called literally It's a Wonderful Life in Italian. What is it? La
Vie è belle? Or something?
La vita bella something.
Bella something. Right. That's the A Wonderful Life. I don't know why, but I keep thinking about the one with Judy Garland, but that's called something else.
Meet Me in St. Louis.
Yeah. I don't know why, because it's such a classic. I just keep thinking that's the one, but it's not.
No, that's a completely different movie. Although that's also considered a Christmas movie.
For some reason, I merged them somehow. I don't know why. I have seen It's a Wonderful Life. Yes, I have.
Yeah, and the American title for that Italian movie is Life is Wonderful, not It's a Wonderful Life. La vita è bella.
La vita è bella. That's, right.
That's a different movie, though. There's no Christmas.
La Villa, that was like a combination of Spanish and French, I think, what I said.
It's vida in Spanish. Villa is Latin for road.
Oh.
Or way. No, road. No.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anywho.
Do you know
that was our discussion of A Tree Grows in Brooklyn.
And a little bit of Christmas
history, I guess.
Yeah.
Or lore.
That's what you get here on the Spoiler Cast. It's not just movie talk. Yeah. It's history talk, and science talk, and political talk. We've even had a little bit.
All kinds of things.
Yeah. So tell all your friends, not just your movie buff friends. Yeah. But anyway, hold on, because next week we're gonna have a proper Christmas movie. It's called Christmas in Connecticut. It takes place during Christmas. And it's a Christmas farce, even. So,
and if you want more Christmas, like we said, we are doing more Christmassy things on Patreon.
Yes. There it's going to be pure Christmas.
Yes.
Every movie either takes place on Christmas or around the Christmas weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe or click follow or whatever the platform you're listening or watching on.
Like, comment,
all that stuff.
Rate.
Yeah.
I think it's a thing somewhere.
It helps us in the algorithm, which I've been doing my damnedest to kind of entice with how I describe these videos and all that. I think I've overdone it now because the algorithm is not promoting us again. I don't know what's happening. But either way, we'll see you in the next episode. But until then, have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
The Spoilercast is part of Please Don't Make a Scene. It's hosted by Tobias Vedén and Rebecca Vedén. Produced and directed by Tobias Vedén. Executive producer is Annika Vedén. I also want to give a big shout out to all our patrons. Mom and Mac, Laura Kinney, Daniel Elgaiso, Christopher Belen, Mom, Dad, CK85, and Jacob.